I've talked about Fallout 76 before on this channel, talking about how it can be affected with Bethesda's future with Xbox. I've talked about how its future as a whole game can be affected by decisions made by the higher ups. I've discussed how it has a bright future, how it could have not such a bright future. But in this video, I wanted to discuss how Fallout 76 in particular, and even other games under Bethesda, let's be honest here, like Starfield, like Elder Scrolls Online, like really any game by the Bethesda umbrella itself, can affect future games like Elder Scrolls 6, the next Fallout game, and etc. Whatever Bethesda or anything under Bethesda decides to make. One example I do have is from Fallout 76 to Starfield. Now you might wonder what it is. Like, what do you mean, MJ? What are you talking about? What I'm talking about is in 2020 with the Wastelanders edition, when they brought back NPCs and all this cool new gear and locations, they also brought personal jetpacks that you can actually wear and attach to your armor. This, I feel like, was Bethesda's testing for Starfield's jetpacks, and it was introducing to new technology because their previous jetpacks were only on power armor. You could not get jetpacks on your character. I'm pretty sure the only way that you could get that was through modders. So that they actually brought it to Fallout 76, introducing it that way, and they're like, look, now let's bring it over to Starfield, right? We already have the technology. We've already done it in, Fallout 76. They were most likely testing it in Starfield and they wanted to see how players reacted to the decisions being made through Fallout 76. Like, we'll use AP points as the fuel. And then Bethesda was probably like, okay, you know what? Let's actually make like a fuel specific jetpack system. Let's not make them use their action points so they could use fuel because people could abuse it and it's its own specific thing. So obviously testing features like that, but they can also test features like the ally system even in Fallout 76 or the pet system they're planning to add. The ally system could be just something where you could have companions, so to say, except they're stuck at your settlements. If they also introduce settlements into the next Fallout or Elder Scrolls game, I would love to personally see building settlements on Elder Scrolls 6. I feel like that would be really awesome because I feel like they can go even a step further with like how you gather resources. They can make like a whole town simulator where like you can actually get your soldiers to go chop down trees or go collect resources, or you could collect it yourself and actually build up settlements. I feel like it could be really cool in that sort of way if they do decide to introduce it into Elder Scrolls 6, but they could even go that step further and be like, look, we had allies in Fallout 76. Let's bring it over to Elder Scrolls 6 or even Fallout 5, where there's specific characters and specific settlements that'll send you on tons of quests. They have their own story. It really just like fleshes out settlers at your camps and at your settlements. I feel like they could be really useful instead of the only people who are really fleshed out are the people you find out in the world and then just companions themselves with their own quest lines and dialogue. I really feel like it could be advanced enough, and I know Bethesda can do it. It just takes time, of course. Where look, if there's a random settler comes across you, look, like they could, like, realistically, this could even go as far as some AI shit that Bethesda could try to do. I don't recommend it because people don't really like AI being used in video games. I am one of them. It's just lazy, but it could even assist them with writing storylines, right? Like, write me a simple settlement storyline, as long as it's not doing the job of writers, right? As long as it's not just completely making them useless, because then obviously that affects their jobs. That look, we can just talk to AI and ask it to write us a story instead of, paying people, and people lose jobs and it's a whole other debacle. But even if they use some sort of AI features, and I'm not talking about like actual chat GBT, I'm talking about like actual artificial intelligence inside the human NPCs and how they move, how they interact with each other, that would be really cool. Because let's be honest here, in Starfield, Bethesda did a piss poor job. They really did. I don't really feel like Bethesda did such a crazy job with how NPCs react to you and how NPCs react to each other in Starfield. I think they did a piss poor job, at least in my opinion, and that is just my opinion. You could probably disagree. People would probably agree, as I believe they would. But there is that difference with games like Fallout 76, where the AI isn't so good, but you know what? They had things like jetpacks, and they could introduce even new things. The caravan system they're introducing with their next big patch and their next big update, I could very well see that being in the next Fallout game. Like, why not? We weren't able to do that in Fallout 4 or Fallout 3 or even New Vegas. Let's see it, Let's bring, and even the gambling systems in Atlantic City and Fallout New Vegas, they could so bring that to Fallout 5. If they could literally make a whole ass casino. They have the game set up. They could just add to them, right? Actually make them interactable instead of just putting down caps and then it spins a wheel and you could get caps, so you could lose caps. They could actually make it interactable. Like, you could play actual card games. They could bring Caravan back if they so choose to. I don't know how many people would be playing that because I've never met a person in my life that knew how to play that fucking card game, but it would be really cool. But the caravan system would be really cool because why not? Introduce it in Fallout 76. I would not be surprised again if we see it in Fallout 5 or in another Fallout game or even an Elder Scrolls game, right, where we have our own like little caravan, so to say, but like, we can transport goods, we can control, like, we can escort it through the land, right? To gain really cool rewards, to just, it's something that could be done, and I especially seeing it be done, especially with Elder Scrolls Online as well. Any big features that they add through ESO, expect to see in Elder Scrolls 6. That's just my opinion. Any really big, cool feature that Bethesda could look at and be like, we can make that single player. Let's put it into Elder Scrolls 6. It's very well done. Like, these are their testing grounds for these games' advancements. And GTA Online is a perfect example of that. They introduced a bunch of quality of life features, just a ton of quality of life features, like something as basic as being able to switch cars from garages on the fly without having to actually drive them in. It only took them 7 to 8 fucking years to do so, but they still did it. They also introduced a system where you can actually eat snacks on the fly without having to go through the interaction menu. These features will most likely be in GTA 6 Online, so I expect for Bethesda to be putting all these cool quality of life features in from Fallout 76, in ESO, and Starfield into their future Fallout and actual Elder Scrolls games. That's all I have to say in this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.